Oh my, middle of the night, fire casts a light on you. I slide a little to the right, just so I be next to you. Then as the world goes around and round, you take my hand and we leave the ground. I'm in the stars when you're around. I wanna fly with you.
at the football stadium here, getting ready for some AUDL West action between the 2-5 San Jose Spiders and the 2-4 Seattle Cascades. Alongside David Pug Anderson, I'm Kevin Dana. And David, we were talking with Spiders head coach before the game today, Tyler Grant, and he said every game is must win if they want to get to the playoffs.
Yeah, at 2-5 right now, the Spiders are going to probably have to win out in order to get one of the 2 playoff spots in the West for this season. The Spiders think that it's going to be 9-5 that gets them there, which means winning out, literally.
They are halfway home. They won 2 of their first 7 games. Let's take a look at the starting O and D lines for both of these teams. Seattle will be pulling to start this one off. So on offense for San Jose, it'll be Matthew Crawford, Sonny Zaccaro, one of the best players in the division, Stephen Chang, Ethan Fallett's had a nice 2018 campaign. Mark Lynn, who was very good on defense last week against San Francisco, making the move to the O-line, Zach Sabin, and Tyler Condit. For the Cascades, it looks like this. Their D captain is Dennis Casillo, Mark Munoz, John Quant, Hai Trong, Cameron Baker, Nick Mahan, and Shane Worthington join him in their starting 7. So what are you going to be looking from San Jose here on their first offensive points?
So what San Jose wants to see is smooth offense, no low percentage, difficult throws, and an easy score. They want to start the game off the way the FlameThrowers Cascades game started off last night with just a bunch of easy scores.
Yeah, there were 61 combined goals in that 32-29 FlameThrowers victory that dropped the Cascades to 2-4 and bumped the FlameThrowers up to 3-4. San Francisco is 1-2 straight. We are underway, and a diving grab made there by Condit. The Spiders moving the disc beyond midfield. Condit, up-line throw, goes off the hand of Fallett.
Looks like Fallett could have laid out there. Not sure why he tried to bend over and grab that. It's a pretty low percentage catch.
Maybe a little bit in between there, not quite full extension layout.
Yeah, not full extension.
And
we have a call.
Yeah, we have a whistle. It's going to go back to Casillo.
Looks like they're moving back, either a travel or a pick.
It's a 10-yard mistake either way. Cascades in white, Spiders in black. Here's
forcing it in there.
Exton Titcomb. He and his family run the company 5 Ultimate out in Seattle. Mahan, marked by Condit.
Nice upline movement. Oh, a hand block.
Beautiful hand block by Sabin. Now San Jose looking to hold. A little more than a minute 15 gone by.
Lots of patience here. Not looking to score quickly.
This is Crawford. Fallett.
Wide open.
For a wide open Zaccaro. You kind of saw the wind knock that disc down a little bit. Made it a little tricky for Sonny, but he gets the goal.
Yeah, you can see he erred on the side of keeping it in the air rather than having it hit the ground.
So the Spiders take the 1-0 lead, and you mentioned it, Pug, a patient possession there from the Spiders.
Very patient. I didn't see anyone going deep off those first throws. They were looking just for the unders and some churning around and getting the movement off of the second or third throw. I think that's a good strategy for them if they want to keep a high percentage conversion rate here. So
Fallett is 27th assist, and for Zaccaro, goal number 9 on the season. What's a conversion rate that is acceptable for a professional ultimate team?
I'm not actually aware of the exact conversion rates as they stand right now, but in general for really elite club ultimate, you want to see a conversion rate for your O-line as high as possible. Usually, 60, 70, 80% is considered really, really good. 50% is starting to get a little too low for comfort for an elite team.
So the Spiders at 100%, 100 seconds in.
So far.
There's Mark Burton, one of the best players in Ultimate. He is the real deal. You're going to want to keep your eye on number 30.
He is so crafty.
That was intended for Stephanie Lim, but instead it goes to the Joker, Duffel, number 32. Into the end zone, and Burton, I think, got fouled there.
Great body position by Burton, just making sure that his guy was not going to get around where that disc was going to land.
So pass interference on the Spiders. They're going to center the disc right on the end zone line. And Burton will have it. A little flick and a quick goal as that's caught by Aldis Root.
Great fake by Root. Did you see how he faked to the break side there and got his man's hips turned? And then as soon as he saw that he could break the other way, it was an automatic score.
So we are tied at 1 with 9:32 to go in the first quarter between the Cascades and the Spiders.
So looks like we might see a replay on the foul here. Look at the body position. He puts one arm back before he goes up with that right arm. And yeah, he kind of made him foul him. He's either going to catch it or get fouled.
That was on Andrew Moore, and we were talking with the Spiders coaching staff before the game today, and they said, oh, we're going to throw Andrew Moore Burton's way and see what he can do.
He seems pretty determined to play some good D on Burton today. They do have a few D-line players they're going to throw at him and try and tire him out but before too late in the game. The question is when he gets tired. He just played last night. He was obviously tired late in the game last night. And so see how long his legs last. That's going to be a key for the Cascades tonight.
Burton had 11 goals and 7 assists, plus 13 in the loss to the FlameThrowers. A fantastic game for him.
Quick, easy movement by the Spiders here.
Chang to foul it. Quickly to the 25. Now Chang, one throw away, not on the same page as Crawford there.
Not sure who he was throwing to there. Ooh, but easy drop.
Drop there by Mark Munoz, and San Jose right back on the doorstep.
Really lucky for the Spiders.
Backhanded into the end zone. Crawford from Chang, and the Spiders get the hold.
That's a really high percentage move. You got to get it back to the middle there, and then you have a wide open, huge expanse of space that one defender cannot guard. That's why when they start on the sideline over there, their first look is really back off to get it to the center. They take one quick look upfield, but that improves the conversion rate, 10-20% doing it from the center rather than the sideline.
Perhaps not the cleanest point there for San Jose, but a goal is a goal. You had the miscommunication in the end zone, but Seattle turning it over right back.
Yeah, it looked like they were running it pretty easily and kind of a maybe unintentional dominator up the far sideline there before they turned it over. But yeah, they were pretty lucky to get that drop back. It was a bad decision on the Spiders' part, compensated by a quick drop.
So here comes the pull from San Jose. And the Cascades back in action. 2016 AUDL finalists before losing to the Dallas Roughnecks 33-27 in the championship game. The Roughnecks with a perfect season that year in 2016.
It looks like the Spiders have put David Hammer on Mark Burton. David Hammer's another defensive specialist. He had a couple of really great Ds on handlers in other games I've seen this season, so that's a matchup to watch there. He's probably the second guy for defending Mark Burton behind Moore. That
throw intended for Duffel, just a little too far in front of the Joker. He has the Joker makeup on. This is something that he and Mark Munoz tend to do. They wear makeup during games. We don't see the makeup on Munoz, but we're talking with Duffel before the game. I guess last year he was one of the Hardy Boys, solving crimes on the field.
So this year Munoz is Batman, and
yes.
He's his Joker? Got it.
Exactly.
Puts it past everyone.
A big huck, and Jaffe just can't quite come up with it. Just a hair too long.
Well, you got to just lay out to make sure you're going to get that one, I think. Seattle with a big chance here.
Burton hucking downfield, looking for Root, hits him in stride. There's the power of Mark Burton again.
Yeah, there's not much you can do as a defender on Mark Burton if he gets it in power position and a guy's already streaking down the open side. That's going to be a score most of the time.
4:45 into the first. It is 2-2 with 7:15 remaining, and already Burton with a couple of assists and Root with a couple of goals.
Yeah, that's what both of them do, right? That's what Burton absolutely has done his entire career. And actually, we were talking earlier with some of the Spiders, and they said that's what happened last night. Is normally he really, really wants to throw scores, and so the FlameThrowers cut that off as much as possible. And he's such a smart player; he just instantly transitioned to going deep. As soon as they would overcommit on a swing or a dump to not let him get it back, he was just gone. So it was intentional on the FlameThrowers part that Mark Burton ended up as a receiver last night. He just decided to take that role and run with it.
And one thing we were talking with Seattle players about what makes Burton so good, and they say his ability to transition from handler to cutter seamlessly.
Exactly. Just being smart enough to know that whatever the defense is trying to take away, you're going to do the other thing.
Oh, just off the hand of Fallett.
That's another one. I just want to see a full extension layout there. He didn't look like he was really guaranteeing he was going to catch that disc, and you just got to give up your body on that. That's 3 for the Spiders now already early on.
Looked to be a pretty good put there.
Yeah, it was a little long, but he could have gotten that.
And so Seattle working from its own end zone. Munoz with it, trying to slice it up to Casillo, and we have a whistle. I think it was a pick.
Pick call.
So 10 yards back for the Cascades. They'll be working from within their own end zone.
This doesn't seem like it should take too long to figure out. There we go.
So about midway through the first, a little low-scoring start.
Yeah, multiple drops on both sides. The more drops, the longer points are going to take.
And the quicker time runs off the clock. Casillo, bladey disc, does get to its intended target.
That's another D if he lays out that they missed.
Worthington off the nice feed from Doc Doherty. Casillo.
Ooh,
too far for Harmush, but we had a whistle. It was a travel.
Still a turnover.
It will be picked up by Stephen Chang at the 10, which is the end zone.
Ooh, here's a matchup to watch. See Tyler Condit coming here as the deepest man on Doc. Seattle is really big on Doc as a deep receiver. The Irishman, he had an absolute monster grab last night, trailing in after everyone. Let's see that.
So, yeah, a 10-yard penalty on the throw. So it was on the travel, so it stays with Seattle.
Oh. I think San Jose thought they were going to get a turnover out of that.
Yeah, Chang was running to the disc. Harmush, 15 yards out.
Uh-oh.
And has a guy wide open. It's 3-2 Seattle, and Doc Doherty with the goal for the Cascades.
That's the matchup I was looking at there. It was questionable. The question was, would Tyler be able to stick with him there? Doc looks like a quick guy. He's got Tyler has a couple inches on him, so you'd rather see him going up in the air if you're the Spiders rather than making a cut to the corner.
4:52 to go in the first quarter. Cascades by 1.
Yeah, that was a crazy score. Can we see a replay of that score? It went right around the defender's back while he wasn't looking. It was literally just 2 feet from his head. Okay, we don't have a replay of that score. But we do have a replay of, the last throw that was almost caught. See, he just kind of extends his arm, but if he just does a basic bid there, he can catch that easily with 2 hands and transfer the disc to 1 hand before he even hits the ground.
So Seattle getting the break and now leading. There's Chang. Cameron Baker all over him.
Coons is doing a lot of deep cutting, and they are not seeing him. There they go.
Zaccaro off the hands of Fine.
Oh, that was Fine, sorry. That's the 4th drop for the Spiders so far early on.
Looking for Doherty, and Fallett snatches it away. As they say,
post.
catch your Ds, and Fallett getting the block there.
That was not his man, but it was an excellent poach. He saw the whole play developing.
They'll switch fields here. Norden, who did not play last week with a shoulder issue. Good to have him back for the Spiders. He led the team in assists last year with 59. Crawford.
Not much movement right now. There they go.
Here's Fallett. And a hand block.
From Doc.
So another chance for a break here for Seattle. Coming up on the 3.5-minute mark. X10 Titcomb with it. Worthington. Baker.
Flick another poach.
Flicking it.
And it's going to be enough.
Almost caught on the backside of all that by Doc Doherty, but couldn't quite get there. It was intended for Worthington. And so San Jose getting the turnover.
Another excellent poach D there. I don't think that was his guy either coming across there. There goes Sabin. Nope.
Crawford was thinking about it. Instead, resets to Zaccaro. Backhands it forward for Fallett. Chang.
Spiders are clogging themselves a little bit here, not getting a ton of easy flow. It's also really good, hard defense.
Oh, we had a whistle, and I think it's a timeout called by San Jose as Tyler Grand's staff come onto the field.
Before the throw? Looks like it.
Looks like it. Indeed. 2:18 to go here in the first quarter. We'll keep it here. David, what have you seen thus far here from the first nearly 10 minutes of action?
I mean, the thing that stands out to me, the difference in the game right now, is the four drops by San Jose on 4 catchable discs. I mean, 2 of them would have required a layout, right? But you're a professional Ultimate player, so that's what you're supposed to be doing, I think. Maybe Fallett's not fully healthy, or I'm not sure what, but I think the San Jose would be up right now, maybe more than 1 if they had caught all those discs.
Well, that's one thing you talk about a player not being fully healthy potentially. That's one thing Tyler Grant's said. We've been injury riddled this year. Fallett hasn't been a guy who's really been injured, but no Jackson Stearns this week. He kind of played a little hurt last week. They want to save him for kind of the second half of the season, if you will. Justin Norton has missed some time, so this is a team that has certainly had to deal with some injury issues this year.
Yeah, it sounds like it, but it does sound like Grant's really working with a multi-year strategy of developing his players, and so whatever happens this year, I think he's really looking towards the future and making sure that there's growth on the team. I think a lot of AUDL teams see a lot of turnover in general the first 5 years of however many years the league has been in existence. But I think the teams that start to build programs instead of just building yearly teams are going to be the ones that long-term become powerhouses, right? We see Toronto Rush have a program, a real program, right? That a lot of other teams.
The Madison Radicals, a team that year in, year out.
A lot of the same players, but it's a program. Back to action.
There's a car. I'm going to scuba it back. There is Sonny, one of the dependable Spiders.
One thing we haven't mentioned much is the wind.
Yeah, it was pretty windy when we were down there on the field, and that was about an hour or so before game time, and imagine it hasn't calmed down much, especially seeing the way the disc has been traveling, as Norton with the big bid to keep this possession alive.
What a save.
And Lynn catches it in the end zone for the goal.
Not necessarily the highest percentage throws, but those are good trust throws. If you have trusted teammates, they can be high percentage throws, and it looks like in that case they were. Great grab by Norton to save that.
Yeah, that kept the point alive for San Jose, and they pull even with Seattle with 1:44 to go in the first quarter.
Pretty good coming out of the timeout for the Spiders there. They did look like mostly what they wanted to do. They got it around the defense. It did take a pretty advanced throw across the field over the defense to score, but it looked like he knew what he was doing with that. I think in a less windy situation, he would have thrown an easy hammer there, and the crowd would have cheered even harder. Looks like we might have a replay on the bid. But yeah, with the wind, it looks like it might have calmed down a little bit from what we saw right around when the sun was still out.
Oh, Norton.
What a grab.
As a result, this game is tied.
But that's also a really easy way to dislocate your shoulder, and that's something he's had problems with,
Yeah.
Norden specifically. So I don't know if it's the same shoulder.
Burton with more marking him now.
Wow!
What a layout block there. How about Jeremy Karazi coming up big?
Full extension.
And that can inject some life. The brake chain being shaken on the San Jose sideline.
Really tiny window throw there by Karazi. We got a replay on the swing there. They're about to bring the disc back in. Oh, what a bid. Full extension, chest high.
So a minute left in the first. This has been a quick period. A low-scoring first quarter. We saw it last week when San Jose had a 5-3 lead on San Francisco after the first quarter. Duffel trying to get this one out. Stall count rising.
Nice inside break.
Got it out to Root.
Useless bid there by Fine, but that's all right.
It's the juices flowing a little bit.
Just got to show you're trying.
Newland on Duffel.
High stall.
Close to 7. And
Ooh, the
just
drop. Sorry.
Couldn't be kept alive by Seattle. Easy goal for Moore, and San Jose takes the lead 4-3 with 17 seconds left.
That looks like a big break to me. Their D-line's running off the field happy.
And the brake chain given to Jeremy Karazi for that layout block. But again, San Jose, they've scored 2 straight.
Those are the best points. When you get a layout D, you don't score, you turn it back over, and then the other team screws up and you score easily. Like, that's really what you want to have be what creates your score, but it turns out it was just another drop on a layout by Seattle.
So the Spiders have taken the reins here.
We were talking about conversion percentage earlier. There's 2 different kinds of percentage. There's scoring on your first attempt, and then there's the eventual scoring percentage of your O-line. You really want to have most of your scores happen on your first attempt. It's hard to get the disc back.
That's going to hang up for Stephanie Lim, a.k.a. Slim. Went to Stanford. It's about 10 minutes up the road from here.
End of the quarter scores are so important.
That one taken away by Guerin, and that'll do it for the first quarter as it is 4-3, San Jose leading the Seattle Cascades, a low-scoring first. Final thoughts from this opening period, David?
Yeah, super low scoring. We didn't see a lot of stoppages, but we did see a lot of drops, turnovers going both ways. We had a few points that were 3 or 4 possessions on each side there going back and forth. The wind is definitely affecting play here. We've seen a lot of throws drift a little bit too far, maybe still be catchable, but make a much harder catch than it would have been if the wind was a couple miles an hour less. And that's affected the Spiders. Luckily for them, they've played some hard D and came back from a deficit here.
We'll take a break, come back with the start of the second. You're watching the San Jose Spiders and the Seattle Cascades on Twitch. Getting ready for the start of the second quarter, the San Jose Spiders lead the Seattle Cascades 4-3. Kevin Dana alongside David Pug Anderson, as Seattle had a 3-2 lead, and San Jose getting an 0 point, and then the break off a great layout block from Karazi to set that whole thing up.
Yeah, I think San Jose's got to be pretty happy with that first quarter. I think they probably feel like they did not play their best ultimate, and they should feel pretty lucky that they were able to convert that last break there, and especially that Seattle did not score on that last possession that they had before time ran out in the first quarter. I think one of the things you're going to see as teams get even more and more professionalized is more optimization of end-of-quarter situations, because those extra points are so massive compared to the number of points you get overall in a game.
And that's one of the big differences between pro and club ultimate.
Absolutely.
Because you don't have that quarter restraint necessarily.
Yeah,
either.
you're just going to a total, and so you just have to get breaks. You know, you don't have the opportunity to be the last one to score with no opportunity for the other team to respond.
Burton backhanding that to Root, who had a couple of first quarter goals.
Looks like the Spiders are forcing backhand when they're not double teaming. They did mention that they've been looking to do more straight up marks to make hucks harder.
Here's Cody Smart as the stall count rises.
They're forcing backwards dumps, but they're also not playing super hard defense.
Burton gets free, looking for Smart. Will that stay in? No.
Just sails a little too far.
Pretty solid opening defensive possession there for San Jose.
It looks from the flag that the wind is going a little bit sideways and towards the far side of the field. And it is gusting a little bit, but not at the moment, because that throw is pretty flat and perfect. Nope.
The huck for Guerin got a little too far in front of him.
You could see it push toward the far sideline a little bit more than he thought it was going to there. That was definitely wind.
Duffel flicking it deep. Has Burton about 4 yards out from the end zone.
Burton is just the craftiest player. Ooh.
And Lim, probably one she'd like to have back.
Yeah, she could have got that.
Slapped away by Jake Tozer.
Jumped a little bit on her at the end there.
Brian Roach, a flick huck.
Spiders looking to take advantage of the lady.
And wide open Richmond in the end zone for the goal. Great work from San Jose.
Yeah, they knew what they wanted to do there once they got that turnover. They had an MO. They were going to isolate Slim deep, and they put it up in the air with just enough float on it so it'd be an easy catch for the receiver. I think they might have talked about in their timeout to float it a little bit more and give their receivers easier catches so they're not having to extend those kind of half layout, marginal layout situations. Overall, once they got it, pretty easy score.
5-3 Spiders by 2, almost 2 minutes into the second quarter.
A lot of viewers might be wondering why Cascades are playing a lady on some of their lines. We were talking about with their team earlier, and it's just something that they've decided they want to do. They just want to see more female representation and give girls, especially in Seattle, more on-field role models. And so they've decided that in their games they're just going to start putting ladies on lines, and Slim is the lady who's traveling with them on this road trip. It is an open format, so ladies can play. Nobody can stop them, and she's been doing a great job so far. Had 3 goals last night.
Yeah, the hat trick in the loss. San Francisco has a couple of women on their team. Also a woman on the Madison Radicals. So the Sport of Ultimate trying to do what it can for gender equity. What a diving grab, a sliding grab by Harmouche after it got deflected off the hands of Burton. And he flicks one just out of the reach of Castillo in the end zone. Would have been a Seattle goal had he been able to hold on to it.
Yeah, great bid by Castillo. Really good look by Burton, not the best execution. He left it probably not exactly as floaty as he wanted it to.
So San Jose, a chance for another break. Here's Hammer.
Not going to throw a hammer.
Instead, he just backhands it a couple of yards to Jaffe. Newland finds Norden. Back to Newland.
This Dominator is working really well. I'm not sure how Seattle's trying to respond here.
Yeah, right up the middle of the field, working with Norden and Newland primarily, and dump back to Jaffe there.
Seattle did say they would be opportunistically double teaming like they did last night. It definitely caused some turnovers last night. It also led to some easy points for the FlameThrowers. So let's see if they can. See there, it looked like the Spiders really just punished it. As soon as there was a double team, they immediately dumped back and got it to the wide side, the open side of the field. Just get away from those crowded players and have more space for easy throws. Here comes the replay for that.
Look at this from San Jose defensively. Here's there's really a great, I believe,
turnover for Burton.
Or the catch by Armush, yeah.
The catch into the, oh, okay, we didn't see the final turnover. What a great recovery by Armush.
Yeah. But again, another break for San Jose. What are you seeing from them defensively?
It looks like they're just playing really, really hard defense and forcing small window throws from Seattle. So we've seen a few points where the Spiders have scored with just a ton of quick dink and dunking around. In soccer, they call it ticky-tacky. It's basically adapted from that. And they're not letting Seattle's defense reset and get to any significant stall count, right? They're throwing at 1 or 2 every single time to someone who's wide open 10 feet away. And that's how they really worked it around for that score. I don't see Seattle doing that so far as much.
Lim with the flick.
Much more standard offense.
Smart with Karazi in his grill. Here's Ryan Siegel. Stall count rising. Duffel. And, ooh.
What a recovery.
Kept alive by Coffin, William Coffin, number 24. And that's going to be a 10-yard contact foul on Fallett with Exton Titcomb. Yeah, close to another turnover, and there is one for Seattle.
Wow, I think Seattle's starting to catch up on drops.
Yeah.
With Spiders had, I think, maybe the first 4, and Seattle's had the last 3 or something close to that.
We've played more than a third of this game in Seattle with just 3 goals.
Yeah, the Spiders are definitely capitalizing on Seattle turnovers more than Seattle capitalized on the Spiders' early turnovers.
There was our first hammer of the game, courtesy of Ethan Fallett.
Hammers going this way generally means the wind is going slightly this way as well, which it looks like the wind is basically dead right now.
Roach with the flick.
Which is
Crawford wide open.
Yeah, that's just why that throw was so easy. The wind just died, and he just floated it out there for him. I think in earlier points in this game, or definitely last night, that would have been had to have been a lot more arc on it.
7-3 San Jose. They've scored the last 5 goals in this game.
Yeah, they're really taking advantage of not giving the disc back after they get 1 turnover.
Well, that was a good bid by Coffin to keep the point alive, but just a couple of passes later, they did turn it over.
Yep. They've been having 1 turnover last few points, and San Jose's just stuffing it in, not giving it back.
Well, Pug, you mentioned a good conversion percentage on offense be around 70% or so. We don't have the numbers in front of us, but it's certainly lower than that for the Cascades.
Yeah, definitely today. Wind is going to affect that a ton, but overall, I think the Cascades really want to clean up what they're doing here. They don't look necessarily tired. It does look like the wind has affected a few things. That's an interesting pull.
And it's going to... Oh, it almost landed back in.
Spiders players trying to will it back onto from the sideline.
Look for a double team here, potentially.
They're going to center that. That was out of bounds. There's Hammer playing some handler D. He likes to think of himself as a deep player, but he's 5'9", so he's playing handler D. He can jump, but he's going to use that for layouts on these handlers. He's going to try at least, I think.
Well, they'll take it from the 30. 60 yards away from the 4th Seattle goal. Oh, what a D by Fine. Looking for another break. Levinsky. Lynn. 8-3 San Jose as Levinsky's in the end zone.
Too many open San Jose players. I think the Cascades just really aren't recovering on D after a turnover happens. I mean, it's really hard on a short field anyway. You're not going to get a lot of Ds back after short field turnovers, but I'm seeing wide open San Jose players, whether it's Seattle's trying to switch and failing, or maybe they just their legs are just not there from exerting themselves last night. I'm not sure.
Pug, I know you usually use timeouts in Ultimate to either get your O-line on after getting a turnover or to stop a stall count from getting to 7, but considering San Jose scored the last 6 goals, do you think about a timeout here if you're Seattle?
There are absolutely momentum timeouts used in Ultimate all the time, and I don't know what Seattle's mindset is right now. The thing is, I don't think they're playing much. I don't think they think they're playing much worse than the Spiders. It's just they've had a string of 1 turnover immediate scores from the Spiders, and that you might not have anything to do about that from a timeout. You might not. All you can really say to your players is, stop throwing bad throws right into the defense.
Burton unleashing one. Root in the area. Can't catch up to it. Great layout blocked by Fallett.
Wow, Fallett making up for his earlier drop. But the D credit there actually goes to the throwers defender. San Jose is really putting on a good straight-up mark. He made Burton throw that way around where he didn't want to throw that. That was a much worse throw than Burton imagined it would be.
Sabin. Oh, and that's just going to float on by. A little laser there from intended for Newland, I should say. And Seattle get a chance to hold.
Quick restart.
Duffel lets it loose. He's got Siegel. Too much mustard.
I think these guys are used to playing in more wind, and the wind has died.
Yeah, certainly windy conditions there at Laney College in Oakland, the home of the San Francisco FlameThrowers.
They're used to having to throw it up and expecting it to hang up, and it's just sailing past people right now.
More than midway through the second. The Cascades have yet to score this quarter. It was 4-3 after 1.
Wow.
And we had a pretty low mark in a game last week. The Detroit Mechanix scored just 8 goals in a 37-8 loss to Madison. But these teams are much more evenly matched than Detroit and Madison.
Oh, absolutely. Nobody expected this to be 8-3 right now.
Jaffe. Crawford. Looking deep for Fallett. Burton's there, and that's going to just float out of play.
Yeah, you could tell he knew about 20 steps before the end there that was out of bounds.
Yeah.
There's a replay on that bid. Fallett peels off, not his guy at all, but read it perfectly. You see how that went all the way to the sideline? Burton did not mean to throw that to the sideline. That was just because the mark was really straight up, and Burton had to go all the way around him to throw it. There's a two-handed catch bid.
Good bid from Duffel, the Joker with it.
Slim. Ooh.
Oh. And a D from Newland. Had a couple of nice defensive plays last week against San Francisco. Sabin. Wow. Into space for Karazi.
That's a vision throw right there.
Yes, it is. He kind of threw him open there.
Absolutely. The guy he was throwing to was still on the far side of his defender.
So 7 straight goals for San Jose. 4:10 to go in the second quarter. It is 9-3 Spiders.
Yeah, I would not be surprised to see Seattle call a timeout soon here. I mean, at some point there is some kind of momentum you got to stop. I just don't see a lot of sprinting. See, his man was not the man who was on him when he caught it. His man is 35 feet back and stopped running as soon as that throw went up. He was wide open. Despite the fact that there was a Cascades player near him when he caught it, that guy was not going to affect the play at all.
4:10 to go. Here comes the pull from the Spiders.
Wind is still dead.
That's going to land out again, so this will get centered.
Little swirling breeze on the tape on the football uprights, but not much.
Took him.
Throws should go where they want.
Doc Doherty had a big say in the first quarter of the happenings of this game. Great grab by Burton, just getting that one in front of Andrew Moore.
Oh, man, I hope we get a replay on that. I wanted to see more bid there. I thought he was going to bid, and then he just extended his arm. Maybe Burton held him off with the other arm or something.
And here it comes.
Moore had a bid on this disc for sure. Yeah, maybe he just lost sight of it a little bit and never quite got his feet under him for a real bid.
So finally the Cascades score.
Yeah, as always, great body positioning by Mark Burton. The more I watch him, the more I see he's not the most athletic guy. He's the first one to make the right decision and keeps doing the right thing no matter what.
So he came into this game with 57 assists and 24 goals. He has 59 assists and 25 goals now, with 2 dimes and a score in his own right.
Those are some bright cleats.
Wait, which player are you looking at?
Oh, we're a few seconds behind on the stream here.
Oh. Fallett dumping it back. Here's Chang, the lefty, and Condit does well to bid and keep it alive. Alex Morrison. Zaccaro. Chang looking around. Playing a little two-man game with Sonny there. Now Crawford with it. And Zaccaro from Crawford, 10th goal of the game for the Spiders.
Was that a break? Looked like, I'm not sure the mark ever really got on. I think it was technically a break, which is why Zaccaro was open on the sideline there.
So a 6-goal lead again for San Jose. Sonny in the double-digit goal totals on the season with his 10th. He's a guy who's been a Spider through and through, with the exception of 1 year with the FlameThrowers, but his 5th year in the AUDL.
Wow.
4 with San Jose, 1 with San Francisco. Puck, we see that a lot. Guys play for the Spiders 1 year, FlameThrowers, and you were talking about building a program, and I think that continuity kind of the next thing, for teams to try to have year in, year out.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, we don't have drafts or anything like that yet, but you build a program in Ultimate through chemistry and people really liking each other enough to make the sacrifices necessary to do it year in and year out together in one place. Normally, Ultimate players are pretty transient. They move somewhere for a job and just find the local Ultimate scene and join whatever team is their level.
Another pool that goes out of play.
Ultimate has not developed the soccer club multi-team structure yet. What a run.
Nice block there by Moore. Just smacking it down, cutting in front of Burton.
That is why they put him on Mark Burton. That is right there exactly why. Burton's going to get some of those because he has such great body positioning, but if it just involves running hard to one direction.
Huck looking for more, deflected and almost caught on the bid by Moore. But Coffin credited him for the D.
Coffin's a big kid. He likes to get up.
Yeah, Coffin 6'1", out of Western Washington. Came into this game with 5 blocks, 6 assists and 9 goals for the 2-4 Cascades.
There goes Burton deep. They switch. And
not on the same page. Newland will just let that one drop to the turf.
So Newland just completely missed that there was a deep poacher there. That was a really bad idea for a throw, even if he had given a couple seconds for Burton to keep going. It looks like the Spiders are adjusting to handlers going deep by just switching.
Whoa, fine a drop. The Cascades an opportunity as we are south of 2 minutes. And a quick response, Root with his 3rd goal.
Great vision on that throw. He knew that there wasn't enough wind to really knock that down. He knew if he put some outside in on it, it'd be easy catch.
Well, hold up. Looks like there was a whistle.
Ooh, pick maybe?
And
pre-catch pick?
It's going to be moved back 10 yards. And Well, move the score back down to 10-4.
Yeah, looks like the Spiders might have had a defender who would have had a play on that disc.
So Burton back on it. Norden marking him, trying to go for the foot block there. Off to Smart.
Ooh.
Looked like it was going for Duffel. It finds Root instead, and Seattle ends up getting the goal. Root for Siegel.
Yeah, it looked like San Jose pretty much knew that score was going to happen. Once they got it near the goal line there, you saw a lot of shoulders slump. Yeah. There was a wide open player for that final throw.
Yeah, had a couple of options there. So the Cascades get their second of the quarter, fifth of the game. Get to within 5. Still plenty of time. 5 goals, certainly an overcomable deficit, if you will.
Yeah, it's still possible, you know, first half, but basically the tenor of the game is going to have to switch, you know, completely once we get to the second half. It's going to have to be Seattle getting one turn and scoring immediately, right? And at least in some higher proportions here.
Yeah, that's going to have to happen a few times for the Cascades. But we still have 85 seconds left to play here in the second quarter.
So this is what I was talking about the end of quarter situations. Really good teams, as the AUDL develops, they're going to make sure that they're the last one with this disc here and that they're going to score as much as possible. But what they really want to make sure is there's zero chance for Seattle to do anything.
You see San Jose being pretty patient here. Baker almost got that one, the bid.
Uh-oh.
And, the way he's holding that shoulder, that might have popped out.
Yeah, like separated or something.
I hope he's all right.
Here comes the replay.
Look. Yeah, so it's going to come on this.
How did he bid here? Ooh, maybe. I'm not sure what happened there. It looked like he landed on his elbow really hard.
You mentioned on a Norden bid earlier that that's how you can really mess up your shoulder potentially.
Well, especially if you go one-armed. It didn't look like it happened in this one, but in the one Norden did, if you have to fully extend and you only have one arm that you can get that far, you end up landing on that shoulder a lot of the times.
He looks to be in considerable pain.
Yeah, this is not going to be a quick pause.
Cameron Baker, one of the young guns on this team. I mean, they have a 19-year-old in Cody Smart. Mark Munoz is 18 years old. Cameron Baker is 18 years old as well. So a lot of young talent for this Cascades team. And you hope Baker's going to be all right. He's still down there on the field.
Yeah. This is a lesson for the kids out there learning to play Ultimate right now. You can tell Baker's young because when he landed with that bid, he hurt himself because he didn't go chest first on the bid, on the half second of the bid. He landed either with his elbow or I couldn't quite tell from the replay, but it was not a clean landing and something popped out with that shoulder hitting the wrong way. If you land on your chest, you've got the maximum surface area possible, and so the impact is going to be spread as much as possible, and it's not going to hurt you. There's virtually nothing you can break by landing on your chest. And so, yeah, kids out there, if you go back and look at this replay, see how he lands with his elbow down or his arm down. There's no question he likes to bid. Yeah,
he landed right on that elbow.
Yeah, so he never really got fully extended. His legs were still under him when he jumped. You want your legs to extend almost above your body so that your chest is the first thing that actually lands. He never really got a full bid. It looked like he almost tried to cut off his bid. As he was going up, he realized he wasn't going to get it and only partially got in the air. And that's what looks like it caused the injury there.
Yeah, everyone, for the most part, taking a knee, hoping for the best for Cameron Baker. The Cascades, much like San Jose, trying to get back on the right side of 500. Coming into tonight, it was LA and San Diego in a tie for first in the AUDL West. And because Vancouver ceased operations for this season, they're going to play in Portland next year. Took the division down from 6 teams to 5 teams. So while the other divisions in the AUDL have 3 playoff teams, the West only has 2, which is why when we were talking with Tyler Grant before the game today, why 9-5 is so important now to be in the playoffs in another division. 8-6, maybe even 7-7 get you in, but not when it's just the top 2 out of 5.
Yeah, that's going to be an interesting challenge for the smaller Western Division this year. But we'll see what happens when Vancouver comes back and starts playing in Portland. It is interesting that the power, the strength of the teams in this Western Division seems like it's basically flipped this year.
Yeah,
right?
Exactly.
It's so interesting to see the Aviators just dominating people. The Growlers, I think, from what I've seen, the Growlers are coming on is because of that program mentality we've been talking about. You know, they have a few young guns that are really coming to their own this year. Travis Dunn, people who I think the Ultimate community saw as newer the last couple of years, and we're just really athletically gifted, and they're pretty young, but just learning the sport, the real deep intricacies of the sport. And now he's just a beast. He's just killing people. Well, they've got the cop on the field. It's getting official.
Yeah. Oh. So they help Baker up. They've got a towel. He's just actually no. That's just the makeup of the jersey, but he's walking it off. And I hope he's okay.
He's holding that arm pretty gingerly.
Yeah.
Well, we'll see if he comes back tonight. I think it looks slightly unlikely.
Yeah.
But he is definitely one of their young guns.
Ten to 5. We have 1 minute to go on the dot here.
Yeah, so this is going to be an interesting situation. One thing you've seen from a lot of AUDL teams in these end-of-quarter situations is they focus on scoring, which, makes sense. You definitely want to do that, but you really don't want to leave too much time or really even enough time for the other team to try and score. So you're trying not to get too close to the end zone until there's only a little bit of time left.
How much time? Well, they turn it over there, but ideally, how much time do you want to leave? I mean, 0, but
just a few seconds. Yeah, exactly. If you anything more than that, and it's really pretty possible to march down the field and score, as we're seeing here. This has been, only 10 seconds. The Cascades have even had the disc right now, and they're threatening.
Titcomb.
30 seconds remaining in the quarter.
Here's Casillo.
Cheeky.
Quant back to Casillo. Just a couple of yards out. Ooh, great bid. Not enough there from Sabin as Seattle gets the goal.
I think he saw that throw going up just a quarter second too late. He wants that one back.
Worthington catching it in the end zone. And so Seattle has scored a couple straight. Look at Sabin. Just couldn't quite make up the real estate.
He was trying to cut off the line side, and by the time he realized that it was coming back around, he couldn't turn himself and bid.
So it's 10 to 6. Spiders by 4, 19 seconds left. So they still have some time to punch one in here.
Exactly. Well, so they do have a chance here to punch it in and maintain that 5-goal lead, but this is exactly what I was talking about. They had a minute left, and all they had to do was just dump and swing it, and they would have had that 5-goal lead anyway going into halftime, right? Now they have to do something spectacular to have that 5-goal lead.
They've had some end-of-quarter issues in recent games. The LA game, they gave up a goal on a buzzer beater at the end of the first half. There were some issues against San Francisco. Let's see if they can correct that here.
It's like some coordination issues, but they worked it out.
Norden. There's Crawford. He's got 10 seconds.
Yeah, so they know they don't have to do it right away.
Oh, and Chang dropped
he
it.
Field before he caught it.
And they'll give it right back. And San Jose's not going to be able to get a flick off. So that will do it for the first half. Very low scoring game thus far. 10-6 San Jose. They outscored Seattle 4-3 in the first quarter, and they outscored the Cascades 6-3 in the second. Well, 24 minutes in the books. Your takeaways from this one thus far, Pug?
Momentum-wise, it seems like San Jose may have started to give that back a little bit to Seattle at the end there. You know, they had that couple-of-point run, but they were just quietly dominating the whole first half, just playing really, really good defense. And as soon as they got a chance, either Seattle, dropped a disc on a layout or something like that, they would just score immediately. And that's really what they want. That's the most demoralizing thing you can do to an offense, is not give them a chance to get it back and score again. And that's really the difference here. San Jose's drops, at least some of them they've gotten back, and Seattle hasn't quite managed that yet.
We'll take a timeout, come back with the start of the third quarter on the other side. You're watching the San Jose Spiders and the Seattle Cascades live on Twitch. Gets the bomb.
Olsen has it. He might throw it back. He's going to have to put it up. Kind of low. Bray jumps up. It bounces, and he gets it! Gainer's there behind him on the buzzer beater for the win. 27-26. An unbelievable game.
Now the deep shot goes up. Not sure about this decision, and it's going to work. What a catch by Jacob Mao. What a grab. Defender on the backside. I thought this was going to be a turnover. Saul fires cross field, and McDonald rises up for the Callahan! Donald says no, gets in front. Well, that's one way to hold on offense. Right now, McDonald has Taylor and Williams. It goes up, it's going to hang, it's knocked away and caught anyway by Shane Sisco. So, a behind the back flip. Is that the first one we've seen in AUDL play? Did he really throw this behind his back? Oh my goodness. We've got everything here. Down to the nether cut. How dare you? That was ridiculous.
is over here at Foothill College as we get ready for the start of the second half. San Jose 10, Seattle 6. With 24 minutes remaining. Kevin Dan alongside David Anderson. And, well, Pug, an interesting first 24 minutes. What are going to be some of the adjustments you're going to be looking for these teams to make here in the second half?
Well, for Seattle specifically, I think that the big thing for them is trying to have as many clean offensive points as possible. And then whenever they do get a turnover from San Jose, because they've been able to get a lot of them, they really have to put it in on the first attempt. They can't give it back and give San Jose another chance there. So far, both teams have had stretches where they've had a few drops in a row or a few imperfect plays in a row, and it was San Jose that capitalized on when the Cascades did that immediately. That's when they just ran up to that 8-3 lead. Up until that, I think the Cascades had the momentum and the Spiders were making more mistakes, but they only capitalized to the tune of a 2-3 lead or some 3-2 lead, I think. And then it switched, and there's about the same number of points where each team has been better than the other. The difference is the times when San Jose scored really quickly and really easily off of a turnover.
You mentioned it, Pug. It was 3-2 Seattle at one point before San Jose scored 7 straight to take a 6-goal lead. It was 10-4 as well. Seattle got the last 2 goals of the second quarter. Seattle pulling to start the second half. And one thing that we were looking at the Ulta Analytics stats for this, and I know one thing that really caught your eye, Pug, was Mark Burton coming into this game, 25 throwaways on the year, 6 in the first half alone.
6 already in the first half, and those aren't all his fault. Like, it looked like there was a couple that could have been caught, maybe, but they're still counted as throwaways. Still, it's his job to get easy throws to people, right? He is the visionary. He should make it a little bit easier, I think, if they want to score high percentage scores, conversions in the second half.
Zaccaro catches the pull, and we are underway in the second half. Fallett had a great layout block to deny Seattle of a goal in the second quarter. Here's Morris. Lynn moved to the O-line from the D-line from last week's game. Resetting back to Lynn.
San Jose just moving from left to right here, back and forth really easily. Switching directions right at the right time.
And flipped into the end zone as Fallett finds Crawford, and it's 11-6 San Jose.
That was the type of easy offense that we're talking about. There wasn't even close to a turnover at that point, right? And that's the difference, is that's a 98% point. Somebody has to really drop the disc or screw up badly in order for that not to be a score. Whereas a lot of the Seattle scores have been really tight windows, things that did work out but aren't going to work out as high a percentage of the time. Really elite teams do exactly what Spiders did right there. Just move the disc constantly, use the width of the field, throw within 1 or 2 seconds of getting the disc, and if you're not making yards, you're immediately switching the direction so that cutters downfield can find their defenders completely out of position off a new cut.
So that took 46 seconds to get back up 5.
Look at Hammer running down. Oh, he slows down. He's had a couple of almost layout Ds on the first throw of points this season.
He's been looking for him. Here's Slim. Defender right in her face. Nice block. And that's Jordan Richmond with the layout.
He's trying to earn some playing time.
Did not play last week, was not on the roster last week. The active roster, that is. Looking around. And picked off by Burton.
Like a high stall, give up, float punt.
Root.
So they're giving them those really short, wide throws so that they don't have easy hucks. That's what they're going the more straight up mark for.
Cody Smart. Not the easiest flick to catch there for Coffin. Does well with it, though. Smart, the young gun, looking into the end zone. Burton can't catch up to it.
I was just about to say that Seattle's playing some really high percentage ball right now, and then he threw that. And I think that's another throw where if he was throwing that into the wind as they kind of had been expecting to, it would have hung perfectly for Burton. As it was, it just sailed over his head, and Burton just really couldn't catch up to it. A little too much pace on it for the lack of wind that there is right now.
Yeah, I mean, the flagpole not moving at all, the flag on the pole. The upright flags move just a little bit, but
yeah,
we're talking with one of the referees at halftime saying there's not much wind down there. Richmond, nice grab, and into the end zone for a goal. San Jose takes a 12-4 lead.
Yeah, there have been a few little gusty points where you saw it affected throws, but overall, when you see offense like that where there's not much chance of a D to happen, that's because there's not much wind, so there's always going to be an easy throw. What a layout by number 14 there, Richmond. Yeah, he just took the inside position, took the inside arm when he bid to make sure that he didn't foul the offensive player before he hit the disc.
Stephen Guerin with the goal. So that pushes the lead back up to 6, which equals a game high for the Spiders. Guerin, an AUDL rookie, in his first appearance this year, Northwestern guy, known for his speed and athleticism.
So that's another break for the Spiders. After coming out of halftime on offense and scoring easily, it's going to take a lot of work for the Cascades to work it back here. Nice grab by Joker.
Duffel. Cody Smart looking for Burton over his head.
Great teamwork by the two Spiders defenders there. Moore saw he had a defender on the backside, so he took the inside position to even make the offensive player take one step inside. He did his job there because it sailed over the offensive player's head.
Well, the Cascades went about 9 minutes in the second quarter without scoring. They've already gone 3 minutes and 15 seconds without scoring this quarter. And just 3 goals in each of the first 2. Ooh. Bad dump there. Miscommunication indeed. And so Seattle will be able to pick it up on the goal line and try to get a quick throw into the end zone. Burton with the dish off to Duffel, and the Joker cuts it to 5.
Yeah. Pretty high percentage there. Once you have the center end zone line, you just need one little fake cut. If that player just runs straight break side, he's going to be open for a break throw, which is why the defender has to go with him. And the second that defender goes, he's open back the open side. It's really hard to stop once you only have to throw it 2 feet.
So that makes it a 12-7 game, 8:21 to go, third quarter. Seattle will be pulling after getting the hold there. Take a look at some scores from around the AUDL. While we have a moment, we'll pull them up after the next point. Have some finals to give to you. Matthew Crawford squeezing it between a couple of Cascade defenders.
Getting high stall.
Yeah, Chang coming up on 7, gets it off in time to Lynn. Chang doubled. Looking for Morris, and he comes down with it. That one floated for the taking for both teams, but Alexander Morris pushes the lead back up to 6.
Great read by Bobcat there. He took the position. He knew he was going to be able to jump and get that disc at. He knows all of the space above him is his space, so if someone dives into it, he's going to get fouled, and if no one does, he's going to catch the disc. That's an excellent read and taking a position in space there by Alexander Bobcat Morris.
Colby College product, getting his 3rd goal of the season, former Major League Ultimate player. It's 13-7. Played for the San Francisco Dogfish of the MLU for a year, did Morris.
Yep, he's a staple in the Bay Area scene. Let's see the replay on the score there as we get the pull off. So Seattle's doing a lot of double teaming. They said they were going to do this before the game. They know they got some turns last night doing it. The problem is when you do that, you leave a lot of people open, and if the other team is ready for it, you're going to get punished.
Duffel.
Big fake by Duffel.
One of the two captains on this team alongside Dennis Casillo. And we got a whistle of some sort.
Pick call?
Nobody's moving back yet.
Norton's pushing him back. He says he got picked. Yep,
All
looks
right.
like it.
So we'll go back 10 yards. 13-7 the score. About 5 minutes in to the third quarter. Slim with it. Tozer on her.
Great up line.
Burton. Flick Huck. Has a man into the end zone. Duffel with the goal.
Looks like the defender was really not ready for that deep look by Duffel there. He must have gotten pulled under a little bit. Because with this lack of wind, that's a really easy throw for Burton.
Burton in the first half. Take a look at his assist totals. Just had one assist according to Ulta Analytics. I think we counted maybe one more. Oh, but we're taking this one back. Got caught up in the moment of the deep flick. It's still 13-7, so foul of some sort on Seattle.
No push-off.
Maybe a push-off on Smart. No whistle. So still 13-7.
The refs aren't always going to call that if you just hit the same space at the same time.
Burton looking for that assist. He gets it there.
Wow, he is crafty. Hammer had pretty good position there, but there's not much you can do about that really small window throw that Burton puts that into. I don't know if we can get a replay of that, but straight down the line.
So now it's 13-8.
So Hammer's got his position. He's guarding the entire space there. Burton just dives out of bounds and throws the disc straight down the line. That is a veteran play.
Finding Ryan Siegel to make it 13-8.
Probably got the and one on that too. Even if he didn't complete the pass, he dove and threw quickly enough that there's not much Hammer could do to not foul him there, even with practically legal guarding position. It's not quite the same if you have to rely on a ref to see it, but I've heard people in the ultimate Frisbee world for no ref games call that the cheat code.
The cheat code.
Just throw it around, make sure you get fouled, and call it every time.
Interesting pull here. It's going to roll out.
So Seattle's doing that on purpose for sure. They're looking to set up a trap on the sideline on the far side there to see if they can get a quick turnover. They do it short so they can make sure they get down on the throw before the Spiders have a chance.
So far, so good for San Jose on this point.
Yeah, they broke that really quickly.
Zaccaro, double teamed. Resetting to Lynn.
Doesn't look like that double team has caused any turnovers yet this game, unless I'm forgetting one. But they're still trying to go for it. Problem is, it's leaving a lot of extra space.
Foul it, splits the double.
The handlers for San Jose just know exactly what to do. The second you throw against the double, you run out of it and get the disc back. And yeah, there's not much Seattle can do if they want to keep doing that.
Lynn, 5 yards out. Patience from the Spiders. And the team up 5, of course. Nice throw. Sabin finding Fallett.
Wow, great inside break by Sabin. I don't know if we can get a replay of that, but young players, if you want to learn how to throw, look at that throw. He got his knee way down to the ground, way outside. See how he turned his legs sideways there? That allows him to get the throw basically all the way down to the ground when it releases from his hand, which means there's no chance the defender's foot or hand is going to get there. He's going to be able to throw it wherever he wants it. Especially, it looks like he has a few inches on his defender too. So that was going to, as long as he does it right, with good execution, good skill, that's going to be a score every time for someone like that.
A high-level throw from Sabin, and the lead back up to 6 with 4:39 to go in the third quarter.
Yeah, that's a throw as a defender. You kind of just have to tip your hat to him, because if you try and take that away, he's going to throw around you the other way for an easier score, right? So there's not a lot you can do if he executes that really well, and he did.
Good pull here. So the Cascades working with a 6-goal deficit again. This is Burton, more on him.
He wants the huck, you can tell.
Yeah.
Foul called on that catch, definitely.
Yep. That's 10 yards in favor of the Cascades as Quant has it. Marked by Fine.
I keep looking to see if Burton's going deep. So far, he keeps just kind of faking deep and then hanging out in the center, looking for the really good opportunity, I think.
Smart. And Duffel.
Bad.
Flick staying up in the air and find the D. Some contact and
would not be surprised to see a foul called there, but yeah, let's see what just happened.
He didn't get a whistle at the moment.
Big inside-out flick. He's trying to keep it on that side so he has a good chance at it. It looks like the defender got there. I can't tell quite. Are they going to call it?
Nope, like
it's a turnover.
Yeah,
here goes Spiders. Looking to score right away. Nope.
Yeah, a flat tire for Quan. He takes off one of his shoes. Couldn't quite stuff the foot back in there. A chance for the Spiders to go up 7. Norden letting it rip. He has Newland, and he's given San Jose a 15-8 lead.
Perfect outside-in throw there by Norden, keeping it in bounds. If he throws that straight, there's a chance that the little breeze that's going towards the far side of the sideline just carries it just out of bounds if he doesn't get the edge of the disc exactly flat. So instead, he takes an outside in because he knows he can get that disc back inbounds to a receiver towing the line there. Really good choice as far as shaping the disc by Norden.
Well, there's a reason he was the leading assist getter for this team last year. And you can see why they're put it on display. He had 59 helpers last year, and he's missed some time with a shoulder issue, but I've been talking with Tyler Grant before the game today. He said, oh, Justin has medical training. If he tells me he's good to go, I trust him to be good to go.
Yeah, a lot of trust there, both on it for his health and with his throws. He's got some amazing throws.
So a timeout taken, 15-8, San Jose leading Seattle, 2:58 to go here in the third quarter. What are you seeing in the second half thus far?
So San Jose's opened up that lead to 7. Seattle's definitely trading with them a little bit better than they seem to be in the first half. No one's really dominating this half or this quarter so far, but the Spiders aren't faltering at all that I can see, and that's really going to be the key for the rest of the game. They just have to hold off Seattle. They have to get broken 7 times, basically. Yeah. Eight times basically for this game to turn around. So I expect to see the Spiders really just be calm like they have been at pretty much every point of this third quarter so far. I really pointed out how much they swung the disc calmly on the first point of the third quarter, and they basically just kept that going the whole time.
And this was a 10-6 game at halftime, so they pushed the lead out, scoring the Cascades this quarter 5-2. While we have the time, let's take a look at some scores from around the AUDL. To get to this a little bit earlier, there was one game yesterday. It was the Cascades losing to San Francisco 32-29. Final in Chicago, 24-16. The Madison Radicals knock off the Wildfire. So the Radicals keeping a perfect record after that win by 8. The Minnesota Wind Chill, an impressive 33-21 win against Pittsburgh Thunderbirds. And Toronto, a big 33-20 win over the DC Breeze. DC getting a big win last week in the AUDL Game of the Week, 25-24 against the Raleigh Flyers. Losing this week to fall to 2-3-1. The other West Division game going on right now, the LA Aviators at the end of 3 leading San Diego 22-18. That's really the one to keep an eye on. Both of those teams 4-2, so the winner gets first place all to themselves. And actually, we're going to get an updated score here. Thanks, Bug. 24-20 Aviators over the Growlers. His scoreboard more up to date than mine.
It's like pulling out of bounds.
Yeah, that's going up into the stands. That's like 8 rows up.
That's most of the way up. Yeah, that one never.
Wow.
It never came down.
Yeah. Float, baby, float.
One of the Cascades players is trying to walk up there in cleats very gingerly and get the disc.
Looks like Eddie Harmush making his way up there. But
new disc on the field. Here we go.
Yeah. Midfield.
Big open underneath. Burton goes deep.
Oh, heck of a bid.
Held off his defender in order to get the over-the-shoulder bid. I think he wanted that. It just floated a little bit more than he thought, and now he looks hurt.
No, not a good sign.
Here comes the replay while we wait to see what happens. So you see there, he slowed down as he was going right to get his defender to go right too, because he knew he was going to be able to catch it over the left shoulder with no defender on him. But looks like he might. Well, looks like he's okay. He's walking off the field fine. He's going to get a sub. He's definitely holding his right arm against his body. Maybe a dislocation or something there. That's a really bad sign if you're Seattle. There goes your main handler threat and your main deep threat if they try and take away that handler threat.
So San Jose back on possession.
Opportunity for another break here.
Chance to go up 8. And deflected forward. San Jose was going to try to get back onto that one. As, that one was hit by Jordan Richmond, but eventually taken back on the turnover.
2 deep defenders. It's going to be hard to go through that. Just another rip that just went too fast, too far. It's like they think they're throwing into the wind, and the wind has just not been there tonight. That would have hung up perfectly if that was a headwind he was facing. Oh, easy drop.
Roach with the drop there. Root looking into the end zone, and Seattle gets a quick goal there, 15-9.
Yeah, it looks like after the drop, Roach got on the mark and got faked off of the upfield throw. Thought he was going to dump it, tried to stop the dump, and then he turned around and threw the really beautiful inside break for the score, the easy score.
So that pushes the lead up to, or back
to
down to 6, 15-9.
But crucially, that was just a hold for Seattle. That was not a break, and it took a lot of effort and at least one turnover to finally get that score. And you're just not seeing the same level of pushback from Seattle's defense as San Jose is going down the field on offense here.
Well, 40 is listed as Adam Choi on their roster. The last name on that 40 jersey said Lewis. But either way, it's a 6-goal game.
San Jose is still looking really calm right here. If you want to waste a lot of time and get a lot of easy throws, you send your deep defender under, like they just did there again. That's the second time Sabin's got that under.
Sabin finding Morris and Bobcat with the goal.
That's a pretty standard level of misdirection at really elite ultimate levels, is you take your biggest deep threat, the guy that you know that they're going to try and back and not let have that deep throw. You have him run deep until he's sure he's going to have an open under, turns around, gets the easy under, and it just moves the disc super, super easily for the whole team. You have a big, wide open space in the middle of the field, and you saw him do that twice on that point. Sabin got that under twice. He took the first one, dumped it back, went like he was going to go deep again, ran 30 yards really, really hard, and as soon as this guy fully committed, he just came back and got it. So between those two throws, they got, I don't know, 30 or 40 yards just incredibly easily, not even a chance that the defense is going to get it. And if you're relying on the other team to drop the disc, eventually they're going to stop dropping the disc, and that's what we've seen from San Jose tonight.
16-9, 1:19 to go here in the third quarter. It's a 7-goal Spider edge. Slim.
Wow, great break from Slim. That is hard to do. That is really hard to do. She's giving up 6 inches.
Keeps it alive there with the grab. Duffel. Back to Slim.
It is awesome to see the Cascades utilize her as a center handler.
She's done well.
She just knows exactly where to be all the time.
Finding route there. And Coffin. Able to catch it.
That looked like one of the easier scores I've seen from the Cascades tonight. They just worked it around, kept getting that easy break off to Slim, and that was really the key to that point. Is it didn't look like the Spiders put enough pressure on her to stop her from getting those resets, and she would just immediately move on the disc, so that the disc was always moving. No one was ever catching up or getting any kind of high stall situation. That looked like the Spiders' offense from the rest of the evening so far.
16-10. That point took 39 seconds. Probably, to your point, Pug, one of the quicker scores we've seen from the Cascades all night.
Yeah, absolutely. And they have to really start scoring quickly because they can't take 3 minutes per goal here. They only have they have to get 7 goals back. I think you'll start to see a lot more double teaming, taking a lot more chances, trying to get it on the sideline maybe. It doesn't look like this pull.
This pull's going deep.
You're going to start seeing some people lay out for underthrows, even if they're not quite getting it. There you go.
Well, the Cascades can steal one here before the end of the third quarter. That'd be huge for them.
Yeah, again, this is key. It really comes down to these end of quarter situations. Can the Spiders at least run this out and not turn it over? That's the important part here.
They did give up a late goal to Seattle at the end of the second quarter.
Great throw.
What a flick to Crawford in the back of the end zone.
Visionary by Lynn. Great throw.
Mark Lynn with the put.
He knew that there was enough time that had run off the clock that even if that wasn't complete, that means the Cascades have to go 100 yards in 10 seconds, and that's, that's the right time for him to make that shot, is with about 10 seconds left in the quarter.
Clinical from Lynn.
He sees a wide open man. I mean, he could have thrown a hammer. He could have thrown a lot of things there. He just wanted to get it there as quick as possible and give him a great chance at it. Lynn. Excellent vision.
Former DC Breezer, also played with the Raleigh Flyers
That's
for 3 years.
That's where I know him from, okay.
He played his college ultimate at Maryland, and then made his way to the DC Breeze. Well, was probably playing for the DC Breeze at the same time, and then made his way to Raleigh.
Yeah. Coach Grant was really high on him when we were talking today. We were asking who the hustle players who are really making an impact that you didn't know would at the beginning of the season. He's the first person that Coach Grant named. Here's Slim again, floaty flick into space, 3 seconds.
And this won't get there. Snatched by Fine anyways. A positive end to the third quarter for San Jose. They have bumped the lead up to 17-10 heading into the fourth quarter. We'll take a break, come back with the start of the fourth on the other side. You're watching the San Jose Spiders take on the Seattle Cascades in AUDL action live on Twitch.
Really appreciate your support all these seasons.
And be sure to hit that follow button on Twitch here to catch more San Jose Spiders action as the season goes on. Right at the top right above your screen, unless you're in full screen mode. Kevin down alongside David Pug Anderson. As we get ready for the start of the fourth quarter, I know you have some stats pulled up. What was kind of stuck out to you through the first 36 minutes of play, Pug?
I mean, the main thing is that the Cascades have 10 goals right now.
Yeah.
Right? Their scoring leader has 2 goals, and nobody's really making that star impact that we've seen lately. Oh, much better read by the Spiders player. Yep.
Nice block. The D from Fine.
He saw that where it was going much earlier and made his final line to it just before the offensive player was. If the offensive player had gotten that, it would have been a slight coup there. He was out of position.
Duffel was looking for Root on that huck. Ooh,
dangerous throw by Hammer.
Quite.
Oh, look at Hammer streaking deep.
They don't get it to Hammer instead. Taking the more sure throws here. As Hammer does have it. Now he goes deep. And a great put indeed in the end zone. Zach Sabin. Oh, excuse me, Levinsky. That's a 9, not a 3 in front of the 4, and it's 18-10.
Yeah, let's see the replay on the D there.
So here's Joker.
Yeah, so you see he starts sprinting just before the offensive player does, gets that body position, gets up in the air first so that he can be first touch on that disc. Great D by Fine. And after the turnover, that was David Hammer's point. He got a lucky non-D on the quick reset throw up field there, but as soon as that happened, he streaked deep, didn't get the disc, pulled his man all the way back under and got a really easy under. The under that he got, he was wide open because his man had just been sprinting all the way deep and then back in. Excellent, excellent, just taking the legs out of the Cascades, just running them as hard as you can. And then he made a really nice inside flick for the score. Looks like we have offsides.
Yeah, it looked like someone was offside on the pull.
Well, we're not going to see David Hammer throw any hammers. He tends toward the solid throws, or really nice floaty flicks and backhands, but maybe we should name him something else.
It is an apt name for an ultimate player. Just
Absolutely.
Maybe not for his game per se.
I'm just surprised he never developed a really strong hammer that he uses all the time. We don't know how strong it is.
I feel like that should be in the bloodlines.
Yeah, exactly. He'll teach his kids. Quick movement by Seattle so far.
Down the far side of the field, looking for Cody. Smart. Here comes the bid. Just a couple of feet in front of him.
If he was 6 foot, he catches that disc. Smart's having a tough game so far.
Yeah.
His game against the FlameThrowers was huge. He was just killing people last night in the FlameThrowers game. Great block.
A block there from Duffel. Yeah, Cody Smart, you mentioned if he was 6 feet, he's 5'9". So still a little short there, but Seattle knocking on the doorstep. Bad throw into the end zone as
great poach.
Yeah,
might be hurt for it.
That's
but
fine.
Fine made the right decision there.
Excuse me, that's Guerin.
Ooh, he looks hurt. Either way, he made an absolutely great decision to just stay in that corner right there. He knows that as soon as his offensive player, the person he's marking, moves out of that space, he's no longer really a threat for an easy throw. And so he stays in that space a little bit longer to make sure that the next throw doesn't develop for the next cutter. And the thrower just didn't see him there. He just threw it anyway, which is why he caught the disc easily before getting trucked by the offensive player.
Steven Guerin, he had a goal in the third quarter. Played some nice D.
I think from the Spiders tonight, we've just seen a few more really smart heads-up plays on a few more Ds, and they've had a higher conversion percentage, obviously, but I think there haven't been those situations from the Cascades.
Roach with the huck and Root with the D.
He wanted to throw that a lot farther for sure. Not sure why he was challenging there. Great grab.
More than 2 minutes gone by in the fourth. Siegel, the slim. Too high for Siegel, Norden the D.
Yeah, it looked like the cutter was not going to the outside there. She threw a great throw to the outside, but...
Oh!
Great recovery.
Recovery there by Roach. Bidding on the second attempt. Jaffe dumping the win and right back.
Looks like a foul there.
There's 10 yards.
That was a great fake by Norden. He caused that foul with his fake. An immediate hammer as soon as it comes in.
Seattle wasn't ready for that, and Roach has the goal.
Yeah, when you put refs in the equation, when they blow the whistle, that's when you play, it turns out. And Norden released that. He might have already been in the motion of throwing the hammer when the whistle sounded. It was excellent timing on his part either way. He had an open player. He just had to go over a line of defense. And with the lack of wind tonight, that's not that hard. We've seen a few throws where the final throw just went over a defender that was slightly out of position in terms of playing hard man defense. If you have a space behind the player there, there's a few different throws to get there. And the hammer is, no question, the prettiest one.
Yeah. 19-10. San Jose nearly doubling up the Cascades.
That was another break. Norton's been playing defense tonight.
So 2 breaks for San Jose to start the fourth. Not the way this game needed to go direction-wise for Seattle.
Yeah, I don't think Seattle thinks they have much of a chance the rest of the game here, but there's still the pride factor and what you have for next game.
Another D, this time Sabin.
By Sabin.
Finds Hammer.
Hammer knows to go the second he sees a turnover. He's always going to go deep anyway with those long strides.
It's 20-10.
So again, another case where the Spiders just take advantage of every opportunity they have. They get a D and they've scored within 4 seconds. I think if we averaged out the time from a turnover to a score for the Spiders, it's probably 10 times shorter than that same stat for the Cascades, and that's showing you the tail of the tape right there.
And most Ultimate players have nicknames, though, with a last name like Hammer. Do you even need a nickname?
I don't think he's ever going to have another nickname. Just call him by his last name. It's fine.
UT Dallas kid, 24 years old, was part of the Roughnecks organization.
Yeah, he played on the Roughnecks practice squad a couple years ago. Didn't make the team, but that's what motivated him to keep trying out, and he has gotten really good in the air.
And the Roughnecks a couple of years ago had a perfect season, defeating these Cascades in the 2016 AUDL Finals. And then the FlameThrowers won it all last year. San Jose, AUDL champions in 2014 and 2015.
Nice move by Burton there.
Has Smart. There's a goal for Cody Smart. It's 20-11.
Yeah, the difference again that we keep seeing over and over is Seattle's still getting holds. They're still scoring. It's taking them longer to do it, and they're doing it in smaller windows than the Spiders are in general. And that's going to affect your percentages, and that's what we're seeing. You're going to have even just a few more turnovers can lead to a score like this.
9-goal edge, 8:26 to go. Certainly looking like San Jose is on its way to its third win of the season.
Yeah, we might see San Jose put in some folks who don't get a lot of playing time, try and get them some good experience here. Although it doesn't look like they have a huge roster even for a home game, so it might be a lot of the same people anyway.
The active roster limited to 20. This one will be caught by Cheng. And this point's underway.
At this point, all San Jose has to do is play solid ultimate. They don't have to do anything special. They just have to keep throwing it to each other. They can dump as much as they want. And that means Seattle really has to stop things that are really difficult to stop, like basic dumps like that right there, that swing there. They keep getting these bigger rounds to a big space. Great save by Norton.
It looked like it did touch the turf, and yeah, there will be a turn.
He thought it was up.
Titcomb. And Seattle gets a break We'll need 8 more of those.
Yeah, that was Seattle doing exactly what they needed to be doing this whole game, is once they got that turnover, just find open people as quickly as possible. And if you keep doing that within 4 or 5 throws, you're going to score one way or another.
John Quant with the goal there. 6'4" guy out of Olivet Nazarene. He played back in the Cascades inaugural season, back when they were the Seattle Raptors back in 2014.
That's right.
Then changed the name.
They should have just called them the Supersonics.
Yeah.
Let's be honest.
Oh, that's probably still a sore point for our Seattle viewers here.
The Super Sonics?
The Super Sonics, yeah. 7:47 left. Chang. Zakara. San Jose patiently moving the disc on this possession.
Yeah, they know they can just use their handler movement as much as they need to, because Seattle's defenders are not able to stay on for every single change of direction. They're on their second day of playing a full game, end of the game. Spiders definitely have the legs they need for this.
Zakaro.
In situations like this, you really just need one person running full speed on the offensive side at any time. And you keep seeing that for those unders there. Sabin gets another one.
And there's a good hold. Chang in the end zone.
Yeah, I think another thing we've seen is that San Jose's height has played a factor
yes, it has.
In this game. Seattle has played a lot of its shorter players on D-lines, and that can be effective if those players get tons of layout Ds, right? They can be quicker, they can be the first person to a spot and get a layout D. We saw that from one of San Jose's shorter players, Karazi, earlier. Yeah. But despite the fact that they're bidding all over the place, the shorter players on the Cascades haven't gotten a layout D yet. And so it's not helping them so far. They just really haven't forced San Jose to do stuff they don't want to do yet in this game. San Jose's been able to just always get the resets they want, always get the swings they want, and if they want to take a shot, they can, but they don't end up having to take shots so far in this game very much. And it looks like Seattle's going to have to start doing that if they want to even close the gap, let alone, it looks like the victory is not going to happen, but if they want to close the gap and make it less of an embarrassment, they need to score quickly.
Well, these teams see each other again the next time both of these teams are on the field. It's against each other in 2 weeks in Washington. Whistle.
Looks like it's heading back into Seattle's hands, but moving backwards.
Perhaps a pick. Looked like that was the call.
Not a turnover.
Nice D by Jaffe. Jaffe deflected it before it got to the Joker. Duffel and Joker, the hand block.
Wow, the poach block off of 15 feet away. What reaction time.
Burton, who Jackson Stearns earlier this week in Evan Lepler's Tuesday toss called the LeBron of the West Coast.
It's like a pick called in the end zone there. They're still talking about it, but the ref called it.
5.5 to go, fourth quarter.
Big loopy huck by Burton. It looks like he thought he got fouled. He's holding his hands out.
Levinsky caught it.
That throw did not go where he wanted it to, hopefully.
Lynn the cutter.
Big open spaces.
Lets it loose. And Levinsky has
Great look by the Spiders. They're just being patient until somebody decides that they're going to run full speed. They see that they have a ton of space deep, and they're just going to be like, I'm going to be the person who's going deep now. And you see them doing that over and over, and they don't throw it. And it's fine. No one cares on the Spiders at all because they've got easy resets. So they're just waiting until they have one absolutely wide open before they throw it. They had 2 players who had 15 feet there. Right, Hammer could have caught that too.
Yeah. The luxury of being up now 10 goals.
Looks like the Spiders are giving away some discs, getting the crowd to cheer here.
I'll take one. So 4:59 to go in the 4th.
I wonder what Seattle's lowest scoring total of the season is at this point. It'd be interesting to get that.
This is a team that averages 25 goals per game. They started the season with a nice win in an interdivisional game against the Minnesota Wind Chill, 29-28. Their lowest scoring total in the game this year was 16 in a 22-16 loss to San Diego.
16, okay.
They had scored 20-plus in every other game. They're not going to get to 20 in this one.
Well, there's no question that they're here with a shorter roster, and it's the second day of a back-to-back, and that's affecting their play. I think they would want their O-line to score more than they have in this game. They've had a few breaks, so their O-line hasn't even scored 12, let alone.
Also, they're short even from their roster from yesterday. Henry Schneider, who played, was unavailable today. Jaffe.
Great poach by Lim, making sure that wasn't going to be completed there.
So certainly a short-handed Cascades bunch.
Yeah, I don't see Cam Bailey out there. He's normally one of their absolute stars. He's everywhere on the field, and he's not here tonight. Great hammer.
And that's going to lead to a goal for the Cascades.
That's a pretty visionary throw.
Yeah.
And the Spiders were definitely tempting them to throw a bad throw there. They weren't trying to get on defense very hard there. Roach is walking off the field exhausted.
Aldis root the goal. 22-13 off the hammer.
Yeah, the Spiders are fine with that. It took at least 30 seconds or a minute to score there. Even with the Spiders' defensive intensity really ebbing, they're not playing it as hard on defense right now as they were earlier in the game. For sure.
And of course, you mentioned Cam Bailey not being here. Cam Baker was the one who got injured at the end of the first half, so
that, for the rest of the game.
That hurts.
Great big guy, jumper, defensive specialist.
He's got his sweatshirt on the sideline, kind of nursing that left arm right now.
Yeah.
I wish him the best.
Burton came back from his injury.
Yeah, potentially he's not at 100% either.
Yeah. I think maybe you could see that on that one huck that really bounced and sailed on him, hooked.
So final 3:30 and change, and a chance for a Cascade break.
Falat again doesn't lay out. Fallat, sorry. Fallat again doesn't lay out, but doesn't have to.
And Munoz put that one a little too far in front of Doc Doherty.
Yeah, there was a gust of wind there. That was interesting. It didn't look like it went where he wanted it to go. I think if he had thrown an outside-in flick instead, the wind wouldn't have affected that so much.
Doherty from Ireland.
Sabin almost fouled on the throw. They swing it around for some easy connections. You see how Seattle's poaching that lane right there. They're still giving them that swing, and that's really just letting the Spiders spend as much time as they want on offense here.
A nice grab by Fowler to throw back.
Yeah, he's really conserving. Every time he does something bad, he does something great.
A little conservation of greatness.
Oh, miscommunication on the dump. Or maybe it was a stall. Either way. Seattle's trying to get that immediate score, and they've succeeded a couple times, but I think they've thrown it away at least as many times as they've succeeded on the fast break score on the turnover. I'm not sure, but I think San Jose is close to perfect on their fast break opportunities in this game, and that's absolutely the difference in the game right now.
Coming up on the 2-minute mark, 22-13, 9-goal lead for the Spiders. They've led by as many as 10.
Great inside break there. Gets him out of trouble. Now, see how they have 4 handlers back? They can literally throw easy resets to any of 4 people.
Looking deep for Sakaro this time. Not there.
That was just a greedy throw. He had no real reason to throw that.
Under 100 seconds now.
He had a man deep, but they didn't really need the score or the turnover. An easy turn back. This is maybe the sloppiest point of the game so far. I think everyone's extremely tired.
I think they realize the outcome has been settled.
Yeah. Not a ton to play for at the moment except Pride, and everyone's a little too tired for Pride at the moment. Still got big, open, easy throws if they want them.
One comes down with it.
They've got just enough movement so that they're still getting really easy throws, but it's really only one person running at a time for the most part. Bobcat does a 720 there before deciding to come back in.
Foul it. Under a minute now. The Spiders will improve to 3-5 and get themselves out of the AUDL West cellar.
Yeah, this is like the last 22 seconds of a basketball game when you know that the team doesn't have to shoot, but sometimes they do anyway. That's what we just saw there. That was exactly what San Jose wanted to do. They just took, how many, 2.5 minutes off the clock with a series of 25, mostly extremely easy throws, right? There was 1 or 2 breaks. Let's see what we got on the replay here. Okay, it's Seattle's D, or Seattle's throw that went a little too far. You could see the wind bounce in the wind a little bit there. He meant to throw it flat. He definitely didn't want to curve it outside in that way as much as it did curve. It looks like the wind just got under the lip a little bit. If he had thrown that IO, it would have hung up just perfectly for him.
23-13, 28 seconds left. See if Seattle can get this back to within single digits.
Just for the sake of pride.
Slim.
Hammer going up. Top shelf.
Yeah, looks like Smart got hurt.
Uh-oh. Throws the high release, but there's an injury.
Yeah, Cody Smart, the guy down with 17 seconds.
That is 2 5'9" jumpers on each other. And it looks like... Let's see, do we have a replay of that here? Yeah, we're going to see Slim's throw that bounced here. I'm not sure. Maybe Smart took an elbow to the face when Hammer was preparing to go up with his left arm there. Didn't look like too hard of a foul. Definitely not intentional. Looks like it's still going to be a Spider's disc.
Just need to make a couple more throws. Let's see if they can get one more goal. And they do. More punches it in.
Now they're just showing off with that hammer. Still unnecessary. Always fun to throw. You can't ever fault someone for throwing a hammer and completing it. If it gets dropped or you throw it slightly bad, then it's obviously a bad throw. Yeah. But that was perfect.
24-13. 5 seconds left, so it's going to come down to a huck here for Seattle.
Yeah, this is a domination that I'm not sure anyone was really expecting to see in this game. Given how games against common opponents have gone so far this season, I know it's the first time we've seen Seattle and San Jose face off this go-round, but wow, last game was a lot more competitive against the FlameThrowers, and San Jose versus FlameThrowers has always been neck and neck, so really surprising to see a 10-ish goal win here.
Yeah, I mean, to your point, Pug, San Jose is -3 goal differential against San Francisco this year. Seattle -3 against San Francisco in that one game. You expect a very close affair this evening. That has not been the case.
Yeah, just a few times when they just did not take advantage of opportunities, and the Spiders did.
And we're going to get one throw here.
Maybe.
Yep. Clock says 0, but there was a foul.
Let's see if he gets it to the end zone. Pretty hard as a shorter thrower to get that disc to the end zone with 2 tall people double teaming you.
43-yard hammer?
Oh, they're going to give him 5 seconds. So he has a chance.
Okay.
That he can make one bladey throw to 40 right there across the field if he wants to before it goes up. That's really the only play he has at this point if they want to get back to this 10-goal deficit. There
we'll
he
go
goes.
to Lewis.
That's what we expected. Is it going to make it to the end zone? It is.
And
Doc, the Irishman,
yes,
comes down with the score.
Pretty up the scoreboard a little bit, but this was all Spiders all evening long. The Cascades led 3-2 late in the first quarter before San Jose went on that game-deciding 7-0 run that really put this one away, Pug.
Yeah, there was no coming back from that. It pretty much traded for the most part. You know, the Spiders extended their lead a little bit, but the Cascades got a couple breaks. It looked like they might make a run, and then it just kept slowly extending that lead for the Spiders.
Individually for the Spiders, who stood out to you today?
Well, the person who I know that the Cascades were worried about was Nick Sabin. They knew he was a deep threat. They knew he's had a lot of hucks come to him, and he's made a lot of amazing plays this season. In this game, I think the Spiders' game plan was exactly right. They know that they expect him to go deep, so he just took 30-yard unders all night, and he didn't have to get a single deep throw, but what it did was make the Spiders have easy throws. They didn't have to throw into small windows or take any really risky low percentage throws for the most part because they managed to take the next thing after the thing that the Cascades were taking away. Right, Seattle really only had the opportunity to take away like the primary thing in this game, and I think they did that by not having many big guys from the Spiders go deep. Normally the Spiders huck it to their big guys, to Coons and to Sabin, but that's not necessarily that wouldn't have worked tonight necessarily because the Cascades came in with a couple of big guys ready to guard them deep. The problem for the Cascades is that Sabin just knew to take that under right away.
And then defensively, of course, Seattle, this is the fewest goals they've scored in the game all season long. What did the Spiders do right on that side? What
the Spiders' D-line did was not turn it back over after they got Ds. I'd like to see the stats on exactly how that turned out in terms of their conversion, the defensive line's conversion percentage there. But once they got the D, they almost always just put it in right away, and that is demoralizing to an O-line. You know that if you make a mistake, you work really hard and get it back, you have that chance to keep your hold and keep it in. They had a couple of those, but much more often San Jose just worked it around, found the openest players at all times. They just work it until somebody makes a really hard break and is wide open, and they were just patient about it. It was really pretty ultimate.
Well, that will do it for us this evening. Final score for the final time: San Jose 24, Seattle 14. The Spiders improved to 3-5. The Cascades dropped to 2-5, so they're a half game back of the Spiders and now currently in last place in the AUDL West. Again, please follow us on Twitch. Hit that follow button at the top of your screen if you're not in full screen mode, just at the top right of your display. So thanks for tuning in this evening. A big thank you to Jesus Avila, our technical director and producer tonight, for David quote-unquote Pug Anderson. I am Kevin Anna saying so long from Foothill College. You've been watching the AUDL on Twitch.